Welcome back to Divekick Infinite. Tonight we'll be going over Uncle Sensei, the character, and I'm your host, Thanos PKC. Let's just jump right into it. Let's go to game. Alright, jump into versus. Let's start again with the kick gym as well.
Mr. Hobato.
I guess we'll put him up
My
against dive.
calculations point to victory.
It's always a good reference to have dive there.
Select your duds.
Alright, Uncle Sensei. Uncle Sensei is the only, I guess, stance character in the game, except for maybe Kenny, but I wouldn't consider Kenny a stance character since his stance is locked every round, whereas Uncle Sensei can change his stance throughout the round. Let's go ahead and just see his jump first. This is his jump in foot stance. When I say foot stance, it means he's standing on his feet. This is his kickback in
Hurry up.
Foot stance, and then whenever he kicks, he'll change stances when he lands, depending on what kick he lands in, and then he will be in hand stance. So this is hand stance. This is a jump in hand stance. It's a little bit higher than the one in foot stance, and this is the kickback. You'll notice that when he jumps, it's a little bit higher with hand stance. We'll see that one again.
All right, here we go.
So the stances are like completely different characters where the height does change, and the kickback especially changes. So you'll notice that I can get back to the edge of the screen with a kickback from foot stance, but not with the hand stance one. Hand stance one goes a little bit higher, but is a lot shorter
Hurry up.
than the foot stance one, which retreats a lot. I haven't mentioned about the kicks yet, so let's go ahead and do that now.
Round 4.
When he's in foot stance, he'll have a dive punch, as we call it. You'll notice that his head is right by his kickbox. So his kickbox is in the front here, and his head is right there next to him. His kickbox isn't that big, but it's a pretty good kickbox. Let's see if I can. It's close enough, but that's his kickbox, and his head is right next to his kickbox. So if you end up missing just by a little bit and they try to punish you, there's a decent chance they can hit you in the head. Also, his hitbox on his hurt box on his body is fairly long as well. But let's go ahead and look at his other kick, more of a dive kick.
It's a statistical anomaly.
This dive kick reminds me of Akuma's dive kick, and just as far as the pose goes. But as you can see, he's got his kickbox down here. His kickbox down there, and he kind of has this arm that's stretched out that will get hit. As far as I know, this top elbow here will not does not have a hitbox, so people can kick right through it, and Sensei will not be hit, unlike Johnny Gat. But you'll notice that this kick is much steeper than the previous kick, which was much flatter. So he has basically two angles of attack, and once we get into the specials, we can talk about how they're both available always. So Uncle Sensei will change stances normally. Notice that if he lands with the dive kick, he will land on his feet and he'll be in foot stance. But if he lands with a dive punch, he'll basically land on his hands and go into a handstand. Keeping track of these stances or what stance you'll be in is pretty important in the game.
Round 6.
You also notice that his kick is fairly slow, and while it does extend at the begining, it's very slow to continue. So if I were to kick from here, notice that it's the travel time is somewhat slow, but it's a little bit faster when he's doing a dive kick that's steeper. But in general, I think that his attacks are fairly slow when compared to the rest of the cast.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Divekick.
However, when he starts out, he's actually pretty extended.
That wasn't in my
So
calculation.
even if it's slow, the space right in front of him,
Divekick.
let's see. Yeah, the space right in front of him can be very I guess you could threaten a lot of space in front of him, even with a quick attack. It's fairly quick because of the fact that it extends so far out early. But then after that, it'll start to move slowly through. So he's very fast in this like close range, and then very slow in this further range. But it also messes up his movement because he has to account for the fact that he does have a horizontal type kick when he's moving. So let's take a look at that.
All right.
So if I were to do like a KK,
Stay calm.
it's fairly slow and I travel a decent amount. If I do a KK with a steep kick, it's very quick and I don't travel as far. Here's a DK. Oops, I actually didn't leave my special. Here's a DK.
All right. All
Oop,
right.
I guess I'm not pressing it. Timing it well.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Hurry up.
So high. Dude.
There's a DK. There's a DK. There's a DK. And you can tell that there's a big difference between the two kicks.
Round 4. Divekick.
KK, KK,
All right.
KK. So as he's moving, every time he moves, you'll have to control what stance he's in, so you don't move too far, I guess you could say.
Hurry up.
It's a good time to move into his specials. And the first one I want to talk about is probably his air special, since that's the one that's most involved.
Round 5. Divekick.
Those air specials allows him to switch stance
Switch up.
just by
Change.
pressing both buttons. So now I'm in foot stance,
Rechange.
now I'm in hand stance,
Switch.
I'm on foot stance. I could do that more than once in the air as long as I have a meter.
Here we go. Switch.
Hurry
Change.
up.
Hey,
So switch.
Change. Hey,
Switch,
change.
switch. And I can do that
Judgment.
using kickbacks. I could do that using also
Round
mid kick. So I'll
6.
show mid kick.
Divekick.
You'll notice also I have no meter here. When you kick, you'll gain enough meter to do a stance change. So let's try to do that.
Relax. Switch up.
Incompatible.
So I kicked, I got enough
constraints.
meter to do a stance change, then I did a stance change.
Round 7. Divekick.
Hey, dude.
So notice that
All right. Dude. Switch.
once you have enough meter, you can switch twice.
Hey.
I can do that. Oops. Oh, I hit a split.
Uncle Sensei
Let me try again.
wins.
But once you have enough meter, you can do as many stance changes as you want. I think the last time they did an update on, they said that he gains speed while you do a stance every time you do a stance change, but I never really noticed any extra speed, so it'll be hard for me to say that he does. But having the ability to change your stance mid-air during a kick allows you to threaten with any angle, with both angles of each stance. You try to get a decent amount of meter, then I'll show you a bunch of switches.
All right. Switch up. That nickel. Hey. Rechange.
Incompatible constraints.
Round 2.
So
Divekick.
high right now. Hey. Here we go. Switch up. Is that nickel? Change.
One thing about
Rechange.
his switches is it does use more meter mid-kick
Switch.
than it does from a jump.
Hurry up.
Is that nickel? All right. Rechange. Change.
So as you can see, like this basically uses all my meter when I do a
3.
switch from a kick. So kick, switch, kick,
Hey.
kick, switch,
Switch
kick.
up.
Yep. And what I'm gonna do now is I'll
Dude.
build up some meter. Do my switch.
Rechange. Switch.
I'll do my switch before I
Hurry
kick.
up.
Is that nickel? Rechange. Switch. Rechange. Change. Is that nickel?
Notice that I'm kind of building more meter than I use, and this is the way you can tell that if you do a switch in the air, it uses less meter.
Change. Is that nickel? Switch. Change. Rechange.
Yeah, so notice that my meter isn't going in the negative direction, versus if I did this,
Rechange. Is that nickel? Switch.
it goes in the negative direction.
Is that a nickel? Free change.
That wasn't in my calculation.
So that's something to keep in mind when you're trying to manage your meter build. If you switch,
Round 5 die
if you
kick.
switch without a kick, like not during a kick, you'll be able to be meter positive if you end up kicking at it. You can also switch, but that'll be meter negative if you don't kick, because kicking is what gets you more meter.
Hurry up.
Evicted.
Detection averted.
Round
If you want to
6
switch a little bit
die
faster,
kick.
you can also do a plink where you hit K first
Is that a nickel? Switch up.
into a K into a D plink, and it'll show the first kick and immediately go into the special without having you to press K then D plus K.
This from above. Round 1 die kick.
This ability to switch anytime in the air
All right.
makes Uncle Sensei fairly dangerous once he gets into his high jump stance, because when he jumps like this, you have to expect that he can come at that angle, or he can come at this, or he can come at this angle. And both of them are viable, and he can switch
Round 2
and have them both like shoals where he goes over and then switches to a steep kick to try to catch you underneath.
round 3 die kick.
Also, when he does a kickback, he can also switch to a longer
Here we go.
punish.
Switch.
Round 4 die
Doing a
kick.
kickback from here, you could
Free
switch
change.
into a smaller
Switch
one.
up. Is that a nickel? Free change. Change. Switch.
So that's what some switches can look like.
Switch up. Change.
Hurry up.
Switch up.
He does have like a sound cue every time he switches,
Fraud detection.
and so as you
warning.
switch,
Round
um,
5 die kick.
All right.
you can listen for the audio cue, and it should be
Free
an
change.
audio cue for the opponent as well when you're playing, like if you were playing against Uncle Sensei.
Here. All right.
I think that's pretty much.
Change. Switch. Hey.
Oh yeah. If you notice that Uncle Sensei, his
Detection
hurt box looks a lot different when he switches.
6
And he also
die
has
kick.
like a mid-frame.
Free change.
See if I can catch it.
Here. Switch up.
There it is. When he does a switch, he takes a few frames to be in this position. Let me brighten it up for a bit. Takes a few frames to brighten up into this position before he switches to the long punch. And so in this position, you don't have an active kickbox. So you are like, if you switch during the middle of a kick, you turn your active kickbox down for a little bit, and then once he actually switches in, his hitbox will be active again. When you're doing a switch, it can sometimes dodge a decent amount of attacks, especially when you're in the long stance. Let's see. There. Oops, what's that?
All right.
So while you're in the long stance, you have this very long body here, and sometimes people will kick you late towards this end. But if you switch, you'll ball up, and then you'll do a kick downwards, and that'll pull your back end away from being hit, and you can go. You basically can dodge a mid-air attack if you made a bad kick and they're trying to punish you. Let's see if we can show that after we unpause here.
Change.
Yeah, so you
Is that a nickel?
can see the feet kind of go out from back him and go to the front. The other one is if you are like about to get headshot as you're kicking, it'll also save your head as well
Round
by
7 die
basically moving it upwards. So your head would be, your head's right here, I think. Yep. When you switch, it'll pop up about right here and then start going this way. So if someone is about to hit your boots or your head and you can't do anything about it, switching might actually save your head here. Anything else that we should talk about for Dance?
Singular
Uncle Sensei wins.
I guess not. We can move over to Super Jump now. Super Jump is Sensei's ground ability, and it allows him to jump really high, really fast. You need a little bit more meter than Stance, which is the Zero Special, but and it is affected by which stance. So see how high we get with just handstands, which should be higher.
High as a kite, man.
Okay.
Hurry up.
So high.
Both of them kind of jump off the screen, so they're both fairly high. But
Judgment.
I do know that
Perfecto.
handstand can jump a little bit
Round
further.
two.
Let me see if we can test that out. So
All right, dude.
gonna build enough meter, and then we'll do a kick. All right. So we're gonna do a. I'm gonna try to hit the jump button or the kick button at the top of the jump.
Go high right now.
Okay, so I want to say that I landed, I guess, with the line in the middle or all the way to the left.
Three.
Try that one more
High
time.
kick.
Relax. High as a kite, man.
Okay, so I hit the corner just a little bit. We can't gauge it by the left side, but I did hit the corner just a little bit. Let's see how high I enter the corner when I
Hurry
do
up.
a long jump.
Dude.
Build some meter here while we're waiting for the round to end.
Hey.
That wasn't in my calculations!
We're gonna do the same jump, except after I jump, I'll do a switch so I can do the same dive punch.
Here we go. Go high right now.
Oh, looks like it's about the same.
All
Maybe I just didn't press it high enough. We'll see.
All right, dude. Hey. All right. Here we go. Dude.
Hurry up.
High as a kite, man.
Yeah, I guess that's somewhat similar. Either that or I can't time my jump at the top of the peak to make a difference.
Round five. Dive kick.
Try it one more time as
So high.
oh, actually it's a little bit higher from that. See if we can do that again.
All right now. All right.
So I noticed I was stuck along the wall a little bit lower for that one. So we'll try it again.
Go high right now.
Yeah, that looks a little bit lower than last time.
Dude.
Alright, let's do them back to back so you can see the difference.
Round six. Dive
Hey.
kick.
High as a kite, man. Here we go. Dude. Free change. Hey. Go high right now. All right.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
very slight, but there's a small difference there.
Hey. All right. Dude.
Super jumps uses can come with I guess it can be very useful in a lot of different
Round
situations.
seven. Dive
First,
kick.
as just a faster attack, you can basically cancel into a kick right away from the jump, and obviously a faster jump will get you a faster kick
Dive kick.
because it'll get there earlier instead of doing a regular jump. It can also, if someone's coming in, you can use it to dodge and punish.
Hey.
If you get backed into a corner, you can use it to kind of escape the corner as well, to just jump over them. Overall, you can also use it to chase people. If they kick back a little bit too early and you use your super jump, you can already be in your kick as they jump back. Actually, I think Dive probably could have escaped one more time with a kickback, but the point being that similar to Dive's arc and Kick's new angle, they both kind of lend extra speed to Uncle Sensei, who's a very slow character. And this extra speed can be used to shore up for Uncle Sensei's slowness.
Round one.
So as you're playing Uncle Sensei, when you do have a super jump available, the attack, like this attack is fairly slow. Usually people can react to that, but you add super jump to that, then becomes a little bit more dangerous. Add that to the fact that he can still, switch his angle.
3
Gives them a lot of flexibility to be defensive and to basically launch very fast air attacks.
Incompatible constraints!
Because Sensei jumps so high, you'll see as you do a super jump, people will try to get under you. And unfortunately, his air special does not auto-face. So even if I do a switch in the air, it still doesn't matter. It won't ever face dive. So when you end up doing a super jump and they get under you, you might want to kick away to escape.
Round 5 Divekick.
You can also try to, if they don't jump far enough, you could try to switch to your steep kick and try to kick them. It all depends on what stance you started when you did do your jump. Because if you did your jump, as handstance, then you don't have to do a switch. If you started it as foot stance, then you'll want to do a switch before you kick.
Sensei wins.
There is a caveat with his ground special that I should mention, and that's kind of went over this during the advanced mechanics tutorial, and that's for plinking. When you plink with Uncle Sensei, sorry, when you plink with Uncle Sensei, if you plink a DK, it will allow the jump. If you plink a KD, it won't allow the jump, and if you press it both at the same time, it'll allow the jump. So whenever I play Uncle Sensei and I want to do my ground special, I focus on manually plinking DK, so I never like accidentally plink K into D and not have it activate. So I'll show you what it looks like when it doesn't activate. So notice that I'm pressing K a little bit before I press D, and it's never doing it. I'm going to press D into K, and it does it right away. So next one, I'm going to go ahead and try to just press them both at the same time. And if I'm as bad as I think I am, you'll notice that it will fail if I accidentally press K first. Let's try that again. It's a meter. Alright. There it is. That second one, I messed up. I'm going to go ahead and try that one more time. Apparently it's 1 and 3 so far that it messes up. I should have enough meter to try it out now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's not fine. Oh wait, I don't have enough meter. There you go. Okay, cool. I'm actually doing pretty well right now. Oh, not that time. Yeah, not that time. Oh, out of meter, or out of time. Sorry. Anyway, the point is, try not to plink K into D because there's a chance that it won't happen. There it is. So always force D into K if you want to not miss it, or if you're really good at pressing D plus K, don't worry about this too much then. Anything else here? No, I think we can jump into Kickfactor now. Alright, Kickfactor. Uncle Sensei has a similar Kickfactor to most of the group, and that's extra speed. It can be both a bane and a blessing, while his attacks are a lot faster. It's harder to control him. So, use the Kickfactor to your discretion if you want to practice Kickfactor. A good tip from Fuzzmosis last time was play with Yellow Gem and get used to that extra speed. Kickfactor can be very strong, but it also could put you in a bad position if you aren't used to the extra speed. So I think that's a good tip for all characters, is if you want to use Kickfactor well, then it might be good to put in some practice to get used to that extra speed. Alright, let's just show the speed again.
King of the bums. Hey, is that nickel switch? Shane?
You can obviously do your switches still.
Is that nickel?
You can still do super jumps. Well, I missed it there, but you can still do super jumps while you're in Kickfactor. It just uses that meter.
Switch up. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, I think that's it on Kickfactor.
Uncle Sensei wins.
We'll go into the common offense. And I think the common offense aligns with a lot of the basic characters, and that's you can play defensive
From above.
with Sensei, where you kind of take space,
Laundo. One. Divekick.
you inch forward, and you take space, and then you kind of wait for them to make a move. But the things that I want to point out are Uncle Sensei's unreactable distance and his height threat. So when I say height threat, I'm referring to his ability to jump high, kind of like Shoals, and do a horizontal kick. That kind of can cover a lot of the air.
Laundo. Two. Divekick.
His best horizontal kick comes from his higher jump, which is from handstance. He switches into dive punch,
Here we go. Rechange.
and then does a kick. And then from there, he can switch into his teep kick, just like Shoals having almost like a, 2 kicks in the air.
Laundo. Three. Divekick.
That combined with his ground special, or his ground reach,
So high right now. Here we go.
trying to get a kick in there timed correctly. My timing might be a little bit too fast, but
Laundo. Four.
this
Divekick.
quick attack coupled with his fast air attack, or at least his ability to jump high to cover the air, can make him pretty formidable. And let's see. I feel that for the most part he does outrange kind of the distances that the unreactable distances that other characters have. Like in this position, I am okay with not with being safe from dive. I feel like dive here, this kick will be slow enough that I can react with Uncle Sensei. But on the opposite end, if I was actually dive in this position, I'd feel a little bit more nervous about Uncle Sensei being this close because his kick just extends so far, and you have to have faster reactions to get out the way. So in terms of unreactable distance, it's similar to, but not as far as, say, Kung's distance. So Kung is scary because she has a horizontal kick that can threaten both the jump and the jump back. So it's a little bit scarier because even if you do jump, you have to get your feet clear of that height. With Uncle Sensei, that height is now down here, so you have more time. You can clear it in less time, I should say. But as far as like how far that Sensei can reach, it's still pretty decent and comes close to Kung's distance. Lucky thing is, even if you make Kung miss, it's a bit harder since she moves a little bit further through. Whereas Uncle Sensei, if you get a punish on him, he'll kind of land again, but also you have a shot at getting his head as he's coming down. So I would say for Uncle Sensei, the common offense that he normally runs is based off of inching people back using the difference in distance. Basically, Uncle Sensei feels safe, Dive doesn't. Dive has to back up. And then Sensei can try to inch forward. Inching forward as Uncle Sensei is pretty tough because of his slow kicks and the fact that you have to manage his stances. So his movement is one of his big weaknesses, but if you can master movement as Uncle Sensei and get in the right spot, then you can control the distance and push the enemy back with your better unreactable distance. Now, let's talk about the air attack. So
Hurry up.
when Uncle Sensei is in this particular stance, hand stance, and facing an opponent, the fact that he can jump higher in this stance, allows him to set up attacks that can reach a little bit further. If he's in the lower stance, in his foot stance, then he won't jump as high. And some fast jumpers that are enemies of that are playing on the opposite side might be able to get over Sensei's jump on reaction. So whenever Sensei's in the ant stance, because that jump is faster and higher, that becomes harder to do. So this is the stance you want to be. If you want a good bar attack or a high attack, then you want to be in ant stance. Obviously, if you want the better and faster low attack, you want to be in foot stance because that's how you do his dive punch without doing any switches at all. If you have to do a switch into a dive punch, it'll take a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and show that. So if I wanted to do a quick DK here, but with dive punch, I actually have to perform it with a blink, but it doesn't go as fast as say, oops, as that. I know this is probably very slight and minimal minimal differences, but they sometimes can be the difference between hitting someone who reacts pretty fast, pretty quickly.
This from above. Round 1. Divekick.
So again, just to review, Uncle Sensei can play defensive, where he kind of waits for an attack to come in. It's much better if he has super jump, because if he has super jump active, he can now use his super jump to kind of get rid of that problem where once he has super jump, his normal foot stance now has the ability to jump higher and faster than his hand stance. And so he has this quick low and a very quick high if he wants to do on reaction. And when you have a meter for super jump, it allows you to kind of like cause this, if you get close enough, you can cause this this mix-up of Uncle Sensei, when you see him twitch, is he doing a high attack or a low attack? And all of this is quite risky to Uncle Sensei still, because if the other person guesses right, Uncle Sensei is very slow, so it's going to take him a while to come out of the air and land on the ground, and that gives his enemy more time to punish him. But Uncle Sensei also could just not push forward and wait for the enemy to come to him. Using his quick jump, he can obviously catch any high attacks, and attacking into someone who's waiting for it is usually a bad plan. So as Uncle Sensei, you can decide if you want to be aggressive or if you want, like, by using your super jump into faster attacks and trying to chase out the opponent, or you can just use your speed advantage when you have super jump to try to react to them coming in. All right. Kickfactor, I would say that can be an option, but Uncle Sensei doesn't build meter that well compared to a lot of other characters. That's because of his clunky movement. So let's go ahead and tie the round.
Judgment.
So normally dive, if he wants to build meter, he can just do a KK really quick. And that's meter, and he moves very little. And then as he's moving around, he builds meter. When Sensei moves around, his KK is like that. It moves a little bit longer, and this one is pretty good, but his KK moves far enough forward where you don't want to move that close, and so you'll end up doing these big looping back kicks, and that takes time away from your meter build. I think eventually you can get to Kickfactor. It's just not as fast when compared to characters like Dive, who, within their natural movement, they build meter pretty decently. With Uncle Sensei, you have to be very careful with your movements. Your meter doesn't build as fast. And so when you're thinking about building for Kickfactor, it's going to take a lot of space. And while you're doing that, Dive can try to take advantage of the times where you're not in the right stance to build meter quickly. But once you do have Kickfactor, just like other characters' Kickfactors, it can be scary because you've got much more speed. You have a faster, faster super jump, a faster attack, and you can switch to. You try to go ahead and build it. Yeah, that can be very scary. Especially when you have Kickfactor, you can do a chase down from very far away, and you have pretty good height.
Hey, switch up, dude. Hey.
We can move into counterplay now.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Round 7 high kick.
Like I mentioned, Uncle Sensei's movement isn't that great, and so most characters want to exploit that fact. When you see Uncle Sensei landing from a dive punch, you'll know he's going to land into handstands. And you'll notice that this hurt box is very tall. I mean, just look at it compared to dive. Dive is like, what, here? Oops, about right there. And Uncle Sensei is like up to here. So it's a very large target to hit. And you don't want to aim too low, because when Sensei jumps in handstands, there's like a space in the blocks to hit him in the head. But as soon as he jumps, this box is now not hittable. And so sometimes if you're aiming too low and he jumps away, the hands kind of act like legs, where the bottom of the legs can't be hit. And so those hitboxes disappear and you end up missing when you aim low. So when facing Uncle Sensei, you want to aim your attacks kind of here, or definitely like even back here would be great, because he won't be able to jump out of it because he's so tall. And especially in this stance, his kickback is a lot weaker than when he's in handstands. So you want to look for positions when you can attack when he's in handstands. Ironically, that's his best attack as well. So you're kind of like, when he gets into his best attack, he has less defense, and so you want to go ahead and try to attack him when he's in that stance. Even better would be hitting him out of movement. That's a little bit more risky, but it's something that can be done. Some of the if Sensei start to get a little bit predictable in their meter build, they'll do something like this. And as they're doing that slow kick coming towards you, you can try to punish them. But you always have to be wary that that's not always a guarantee, because of the fact that they can switch out and punish you instead by not letting, like, making you whiff because they use a different kick.
This from above.
So let's see what that looks like.
1 high kick.
Switch.
Yeah, so basically they jump back. You're expecting that, but instead they can just go short and then kick you. And so as you're playing against Sensei, you want to notice how well that the Sensei is changing their stances, and if they aren't changing too well, maybe you can start punishing bad meter builds like this.
Switch up.
This is the movement, like the dive punch movement is the one you want to look to punish the most. The dive kick movement isn't as punishable because it's so, it's less, it travels not as far, and so it's not normally within your range. So as you're, as you watch Uncle Sensei in the air, you want to notice when they start to do dive punches and allow that dive punch to land. They can actually switch out of the dive punch into a dive kick, but if they let it go for at least any amount of time, it usually pushes them forward a decent amount of time, and forward enough that you can punish it if you're in the right position. So let's go over that one more time. Step 1, his weak defensive stance is handstands. From here, you can hit him pretty high, and even if he jumps back, the high will still get hit. So let's try that again. Oops, wrong one. Handstands. Oops, trying to get close, but went a little too far there.
Round 5 dive kick.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
That's the jump up. That's the jump back. You'll notice that it doesn't travel that far, and if you have a character that can kick, you can actually chase down the kickback. This one was having to be the best scenario where you get him in a headshot. But that's one of his weaknesses, is that when he's landing into handstands, he's got a tall hurt box and his kickback doesn't retreat. Besides that, his movement, this long horizontal kick is weak in movement because it's so slow. So you want to look for times to punish it.
Roundo. Eito. Die kick.
Like I said before, if he does use his super jump, look at going under as an option. Make sure that you cross fully, because he can, turn into a short kick. If he doesn't end up kicking out of the air, then you could just kick him when he lands. But if he does kick out of the air, you can chase him a little bit, getting some free meter while you move and take the space away from him. So what's the last thing? I think that's it for counterplay, though. Go under because he jumps so high. Watch for his dive punch movement, and look for him landing into handstands to have a larger hitbox and punish his kickback from the handstands. The other thing to note is that whenever Uncle Sensei is in the air, you have to expect both angles. Okay, so at this point, he can have one kick a meter as soon as he starts to kick. So you have to expect this kick and this kick right now. And that's what makes Uncle Sensei kind of hard to deal with, because of the fact that you have to account for both situations all the time, because the meter for stance is so low that he can have both angles pretty much anytime he wants. I think that you definitely want to notice the patterns of an Uncle Sensei player when they use their switch, so that you can hopefully eliminate some of those possibilities. But if you're playing someone who's pretty good at mixing up their stances, then it's going to be pretty rough. All right. Went over counterplay. Let's talk about concussion. Let's see if I can actually get a headshot with Uncle Sensei in his handstance. You have to aim at the armpit. There you go. You want to aim through the bicep, basically. Okay, so you'll notice that Sensei's kind of like wobbly here when he is concussed. So his foot will like sometimes be out front and then sometimes be high. So let's go ahead and just let that play out a little bit. Yeah, see? He's got the little like dangly feet as it goes. And then when he's fine and the same, it'll go up. So I don't think you have a problem missing it, because even in the dangly foot, he's kind of still tall. So I wouldn't worry about missing it high.
Judgment.
As Sensei in concussed mode, I like to be in foot stance. Oops. I like to be in a foot stance because I feel like it has a better retreat. And if you're in handstance, you still have that bad retreat. So normally, if I'm in,
Fraud detection warning.
as I start the round, I'll try to, if I'm in handstance, I'll immediately do a KK to try to get into foot stance so that I can react with a better kickback. You still have a pretty long forward attack.
Switch! Hurry up! All right now, dude.
You still have a pretty long forward attack when you're concussed. So you can look for people to maybe start the next round, so you can kind of see how fast his kick comes out. You can still look for when people try to approach you, but I would probably prioritize not dying to a second headshot.
Yes, from above. Round one, die kick, headshot.
Okay, so let's get the shot here.
Bankruptcy!
Round two, die.
Okay, let's see how fast I can. So that one actually stretches out a little bit far, but then it goes really, really slow after that. So you can still have a shot at knocking or tapping people when they're trying to come in on you. But if you want to be able to defend and use time, then this stance is better than the dive stance because you can actually get out of the way. if you are in handstands, that escape looks a lot worse with your kickback.
5 大キックヘッドショット
Go ahead and show his kickback underneath concussion.
ラウンド6大キック
Yeah, so this is his kickback with concussion. Pretty bad, almost looks like Mr. N's, and he's got a very tall hurt box. So
ダブルキル
I'm broke.
the good thing about being in handstands when you're concussed is your head is on the bottom, which is a little bit harder to hit, unless it basically changes the point of attack for them. But it can also save you from, from being headshot when you have characters who are really good from attacking from above, like Shoals say. It makes it really hard to hit Uncle Sensei's head if his head is lower.
ラウンド2大キックヘッドショッ
So
ト
when you're concussed, the two things to think about is one, where do you want your head? And two, are you going to try to attack the person? If you're going to try to attack the person coming in, you want to be in foot stance, so you can do the quick attack like this. But if you're trying to protect your head, you want to get into handstance. Or just like start here, and then as they come, just do a KK to kind of get quickly into this handstance, so that way you can get hit on the feet instead of your head.
ラウンド4大キック
For the enemy, when you're approaching Sensei that's concussed,
Multiply.
you just want to make sure to watch out for that approach where he's trying to kick you, and look to try to kick him
ラウンド
when he's in handstance, because that's when he's weakest. Trying to line up a headshot on Uncle Sensei is pretty tough because you have to manage where his head's going to be according to what stance he is. So I'd say the best chance for a headshot is kind of like wait in front of him and wait for him to do something like that and just aim for his head at that point. But other than that, I wouldn't try to aim for Sensei's head normally, just because it's really hard to gauge where it'll be.
ラウンド6大キック
All right, I think that's it for concussion. We can go more into line play.
Here we go.
As Uncle Sensei, as a lot of characters, I would say that Uncle Sensei has pretty good line game once he has Super Jump. Super Jump allows him to defend and attack into line very quickly and and a little bit later than the other opponent, because he can jump up faster. Actually, let me show it here.
Here we go.
ハリーアップ
Okay, so let's say that this is the line situation. Dive has meter, but also Uncle Sensei does. So if Uncle Sensei wanted to, he can time a very high jump and land and time his attack so that he lands perfectly on the line from his attack. And I don't think anything gets higher than Super Jump. So pretty much he has the high route covered if he has Super Jump. So he can take the line with at least a tie if his timing is good. Now, that said, he can also force Dive to commit to coming into line a little bit earlier, because Uncle Sensei's jump is just fast enough that he can go in pretty fast with Super Jump. Dive can come in pretty quickly with his arc as well, so that if he has meter for arc, it can change the options. But I feel like Uncle Sensei has the ability to both defend like a short movement and a tall, airy movement with Super Jump that makes his line game very good. Plus his kickbox on his dive punch is actually pretty strong. Even though his head's right here, this whole thing doesn't overlap with his hurt box, and so if you get a foot-on-foot clash, it'll most likely go Sensei's way. I have seen double KOs where Sensei is actually hit in the head as well. So if you end up getting a double KO, there could be a chance that you actually hit Sensei in the head at the same time. It does happen with Jefailey a lot, since Jefailey's kickbox looks very like a rectangle with his boot coming in. So he's got it's normally like this with his drop kick. Sensei's what do you call it? His dive kick The kickbox isn't as good, and I wouldn't recommend it for any situations where you would clash kicks because it's a lot worse. And he has this whole like arm up here that also is a hurt box when he kicks in. So defending line, use the dive punch. It's just better at clashes, and it allows you to get to line kind of safely if you do want to go high. All right. Gem selection. All right, let's go to game menu.
Select your character.
I promise
What
to
you want,
pay
me
for
to freak
gas
this?
eventually, man.
Select your bring.
I've played a lot of Sensei, and I have primarily gone Big Gem. And this is because I believe that Sensei's main weaknesses rely in his ground movement and his kick speed. So I feel that the kick gem is essential to shoring up those weaknesses. It allows him to move faster, and he can chase down things. Dive gem does allow him to jump higher and can be beneficial in matchups where he wants to jump high. But I feel once you get super jump, you can kind of get as high as you want at that point. And even though you could get even higher, I'm not sure how much that is necessary, and you are giving up kick speed. I think the general stigmas apply. If you are more offensive, then you want kick gem, and if you are more defensive, you'd want dive gem, because the faster velocity on the dive gem does allow you to dodge things a little bit more. I've seen people play dive gem sensei really well, so I can't say that it's not a great gem. I think that it's a viable gem, but I prefer the speed of the kick gem. Meter gem only matters in situations where there's not enough room to kick and you really, really need your meter. Uncle Sensei's air special, he has it in one kick, and his ground special doesn't require that much meter or that many kicks. So I would say that I would probably never pick the style gem because the situation in which it's most useful doesn't come up as much with Uncle Sensei. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the gem selection. All right, maybe we can try to get in some matches, and I can kind of showcase Uncle Sensei getting beaten up, because since I'm so rusty at him, but also hopefully you can see glimpses of a very good play. Let me try to pull up some players. 1 sec. Let's go back to the casual screen while we wait. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and check the lobbies, because I think Lai should be waiting. Lai, if you do want to jump into Tournicast, I'm in there as well. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and check the lobbies.
Okay, booting up.
Hey, Laitome.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome. I know that we have Axem on deck as well, so let me send out a Mr. Tim and let
Hold
him
up.
know that we'll be in here.
Okay, no, my mic's working. Okay, sweet. Continue.
I just wanted to say that Axem also said that he's down to play some matches, and I'll let him know that we're in the Tournicast, and he can jump in here and start rotating in.
All right. Lobby up.
Okay. All right, let's switch to the game. Online. Let's do some dive first, as usual.
Okay.
In this particular matchup, I see it fairly even. Dive has really good movement. He can use that movement to punish Sensei's bad movement. He jumps pretty high, and he can use his arc as a way to push Sensei back at the same, basically threaten with the same unreactable style distance. As long as he has meter for it, you have to be wary of it. And Kickfactor, dive Kickfactor is always good, so it's always something to be It's always something to watch out for. Always something to threaten or force Dive's enemy to kind of stop him from building meter so easily. But we can kind of get into it. I have to fix the scores too. I'll be fairly rusty at Uncle Sensei. I don't know if you're watching earlier, but my my quick attacks are badly timed that I'm like just jumping.
Prepare to strike. I did in Mega Mart.
Might stand a chance here.
We'll see, we'll see. I think you
The
stand a
question is,
chance.
what gem is better here?
I like them both. I mean, I like Kick Gem and Dive Gem as Dive. You could try one at first and then move to the other after.
Yeah, probably.
What's I gonna do? Oh, the names. That's what I needed. Laitome, Thanos. Okay.
I'm not sure how Dai's jump height completely relates to Sensei's handstand height.
If you want to check it out, we can kind of just do the first round, kind of showing the
We'll
jump heights.
find out soon enough.
Okay, that's fine then.
We don't need to dedicate it. We'll figure it out eventually.
All right, good luck, have fun.
You too.
This from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Stay calm. Switch up.
Iteration limit reached.
So that was just me using my height on Dive.
2. Dive kick.
Switch.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Basically gonna try to inch my way forward, push him back, and hopefully chase him to the corner.
Here we go. All right now. Here we go. Here we go. Rechange. Switch up.
It's a statistical
Nice
anomaly.
velocity though.
Almost pulled it off.
Yeah, nice velocity.
I just got greedy.
Ooh, nice reaction.
Round 5. Dive kick.
All right.
Alright, about to get Kickfactor, have to be wary of that.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Dude, is that a nickel?
Ooh.
Oh man.
Trying to chase down the Kickfactor
7.
activation.
Dive kick.
Able to gamble on that approach. I have meter for super jump now.
Dive
Here we
kick.
go. Chill, man. All right. Rechange. All right. Hey, is that a nickel? Switch up.
Ooh, okay. I was expecting to do a dive kick there, but I switched one too many times and did a dive punch instead. Nice one, Laitome. I think I kicked you with a dive kick if I got it right, but you might have been kind of close, so
Yes.
it was very questionable. We'll see how
I
it
was
happens.
very much in like your zone there.
1.
So
Dive kick.
if you timed it very precisely, you might have been able to get me.
Ooh.
That wasn't in my calculation.
Push him button.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Hey, Shane, is that a nickel? All right now. Switch up.
Please join my study group.
I was going hard for that headshot there. I missed the first time though.
3. Dive kick.
Take it easy, Kai, man.
Too few variables.
Kickback.
Round.
Thought I had you. No.
Rechange.
Most of the time you'll see me if I'm in handstands, I'll immediately switch to foot stance so I can get that dive punch.
Fraud detection warning.
Round 5. Dive
You
kick.
can play around you like your shoals, but like you actually have like footsies and stuff.
Fraud detection.
Yeah, I think that might be a good way to kind of describe Sensei. He has the threat of shoals like jump into horizontal kick, but he has better ground movement. Obviously, it's not great ground movement, but it's better than shoals because shoals has no ground movement.
Both of the ground movement, it's just in the wrong direction.
Round 1. Dive kick.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Uncle Sensei, because his kickbox is so good, if you ever get in a situation where you hit toes on the floor, usually Uncle Sensei wins those trades. So you might see a lot of foot taps that might happen.
Switch up.
Ooh, should've just waited.
Hector. Round 4. Dive kick.
It's a statistical anomaly.
Round 5. Dive kick.
Here we go. Hey,
Trigonometry.
is that a nickel?
Okay, I jumped before the activation and I was like, oh, that's bad. So I just switched to protect my head.
Dive kick.
So high. Switch up.
So there I just used super jump to kind of get out of there because I was very scared of the kick factor.
7
Hey, chill me so high right now.
I need to stop going for those.
Yeah.
ラウンド8大キック
Rechange.
Oh, I went for a cheeky switch. Did not happen.
ラウン
If
ド
you didn't kick there, I would have chased your kick
9
back.
大キック
All right. Adverse possession. All right now.
ヘッドショット
Oh, I tried a ground special.
アンカリ先
Oh,
生
he ended up jumping instead.
Yeah.
That does happen. How you liking kick gem versus Sensei though? Would you rather have dive jump?
I honestly can't tell. I'm gonna switch to dive gem for this next one, but
セレクトよキャラクター
Can
Statistically,
someone give
I
me a
always win.
ride?
セレクトよブリン
oh wait, yeah.
セレクトよダッツ
Alright, so I'm up 2-1. Hopefully you can take one and get another round of dive gem.
I think Sensei's handstand height just might be too high for dive gem to matter.
です
Ah.
from above
Because like earlier when I was in Kickfactor,
1
and you just did a normal handstands jump, you
Yeah.
are so higher than me, despite the fact that I was in Kickfactor.
Switch up. Rechange.
Too few variables.
I don't know why, but I can never do dive ground
ラウン
special.
ド2大キック
There's that time I did it.
ラウンド3大キック
So high.
Too much randomness.
I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna do a low.
Yeah.
4大キック
That's the fast mix-up I was talking about.
Here we go. Switch. Switch up. Switch.
Not where I want to be.
Shoot.
Yeah.
And that was not the input I meant to do.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
ラウンド5大キック
Here we go.
Tiger in theory.
So high.
Multiply.
ヘッドショット
Yeah.
Incompatible
Fraud detected.
constraints.
That might have just been the gem change shock.
Yeah, I'm not used to that movement.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with the dive gem, dive can kind of get at certain ranges can out jump Sensei, so it kind of makes the attack angles for Sensei like I have to be a lot closer to launch attacks. But I feel like I can get closer because the
Yeah,
movement
because I
isn't
can't
as
threaten
good.
you in footsies anymore.
Yeah, it's not as good, so it's like the trade-off. I think that when you have dive gem, it's a lot scarier for me when once you have kick factor. But before that, I think kick gem is a little bit more threatening.
Yeah, issue is you also build slower with dive gem.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Like that kick factor is like the main threatening thing about dive, and if dive gem makes me more threatening with it, but it's harder to get kick factor, it doesn't really matter. I'll let Axem.
Yeah, no worries. Let me see if anyone in chat would request a matchup they want to see, but if not, I'll jump in and ask Axem, or maybe Laitome, if you do have a matchup you do want to see, let me know.
What's a weird matchup for Sensei? I'm not gonna say Jeff, because that's just cruel. But
I wouldn't mind.
no, I'll do Jeff.
Okay,
I'll do
so
Jeff to show off how horrible that matchup is.
Yeah.
But
I'll go ahead and talk about this which I think is the most horrible matchup in the game, and that's Sensei versus Jeff. I think it's I think I have it at like 2.5 to 7.5 or something like that. It could easily be 8-2. But the reason it's so
Beggars can't
horrible
be
is
choosers.
because super jump allows Uncle Sensei to kind of get high and above Jefailey at any moment, and when his head is huge, that's a really huge problem. And so Jefailey, sometimes as his head gets bigger, he gets better because he can start out jumping people, but you can't out jump super jump. So it's I think my strategy as Jefailey is try to win and get kick factor at like your second or third win, and then try to ride it out for the full victory, because as soon as your head is huge, you're probably gonna lose if Uncle Sensei gets super jump. I'll try to put that in on display here, but I'll also try to just win without using that. But if I do end up having to, I'll just build super jump and play it safe.
Yes, from above. Round.
Also, Axem, I didn't expect you to actually pick Jeff. I was gonna suggest something else, like Baz and Controls.
Well, we're talking about it, so I don't mind. It's okay.
Round. Two.
I'm sorry for putting you into this mess.
Double kill.
Oh, I think it's a double.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is kind of something I wanted to show too, so this is awesome. Double kills with the
Oh,
Total failure!
some funny snapbacks there.
you almost have a
Four.
Kickfactor though.
Exhibition man!
Shane!
Oh, I was
goes the-
hoping I'd have
Immediately
like.
loses.
Yeah, there goes the very good kick blocks.
There goes the only thing that saves Jeff in this matchup.
All right, so now his head's size 2, which is chainable here.
Six.
Yeah, now we're in headshot chain land.
Oh, yeah, shouldn't have done that. As soon as I pressed the button, I knew.
Yeah.
Round. Seven.
Is that Switch?
Double kill.
Yeah, I'm not even using super jump here because my regular handstand jump is pretty good.
Eight. Double kill.
Oh, that's actually good.
Hey,
for you.
double. I'll take it.
Yeah, my approach there was a bit sloppy.
Double kill.
Tight, man.
Oh, that was just a style super jump.
No, I mean the extra speed does help.
It does, yeah.
Help him get high enough to the extent that you couldn't threaten him anymore.
Yeah. All right, if I win this second one, then the third one I want you to hit me 3 times in a row, and I'll try to win 5 in a row.
One. Double kick.
Re-change.
Oh, aw. Wrong direction.
Switch.
Nice. I'm going for some aggressive attacks here because I know that even if your head gets big, I'm okay.
Double kick.
It's funny with this matchup because small head Jeff is actually kind of good against, like, alright against Sensei.
Yeah,
like, he's not great, but he's not terrible either. And in part because he can punish the handstands so easily.
Four. Double kick.
But as that head grows, also Jeff is really good at getting under people when you don't know head size.
Oh, nice. So now his head is fairly large. I have a decent amount of meter here.
Yeah, and now you can just super jump. And as long as you don't find yourself in the corner.
Re-change.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That was the wrong switch there. I should have just let my tall one come out.
Six. Double kick.
oh,
Aw.
oh.
All right.
Round. Seven. Double kick.
Here we go. Chill, man. Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Nice.
I have to play a little risky.
Yeah, definitely. I was basically just building up super jump and trying to get the headshot. Nice take. But as you can tell, like, it's a big problem. So, like, as soon as I get super jump, it's really tough to do anything. And so, I got super jump there. I went a little early, and he did a very risky attack.
Round. Two.
But it's not impossible.
Switch up. Is that nickel?
What I do like about Uncle Sensei is if you do miss your first attack, you usually have a chance to go for a second one.
You can follow. Yeah.
Re-change.
Oh,
Nice.
that was dicey.
Yeah, I kind of hit the, I panic switch there at the bottom. I wasn't sure if I was in the right kick, and I changed it at the last second there.
Is that nickel? Switch.
There, I switched into dive punch just in case he jumps back, but then I noticed he wasn't, so I switched into this different stance so I can get my dive kick in there.
Round. Six.
Re-change. Switch. Re-change.
It's okay, I still
Uncle
make money!
Sensei wins.
Yeah, it's tough because the dive punch makes you not want to like land your kick back, and then but then if you go underneath me, I can still switch into dive kick.
Yeah, that's
that'll be-
Sensei. He can cover both angles, so it can be tricky.
All All right, so maybe I mean, it's 2-1 here. I'm gonna have you go ahead and kick me 3 times or 4 times. We'll see if I can try to come back from 0.
From above.
3 or 4? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just land a handstand so I don't get headshot.
Dive kick.
Oh, whoops.
All right. Well, I might have an extra round here.
Dive kick.
That's the funny thing about Sensei. You're trying to demo something and get close, you just wind up tapping them.
Yeah, it's really hard to control Sensei's movements, so sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Just the dive kick classic. Like you're just trying to set up something casual,
Fall.
and then you just hit each other.
Alright, is 3 good?
No, go ahead to go to 4, but then
Go to 4?
also,
Okay.
yeah, burn your meter so you don't have like, because I would think, yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So I'll try to win with this in this situation here. I still feel very comfortable in this situation.
Disqualified!
Yep.
All right, 1 headshot. I think I'm good.
And it begins.
7. Dive kick.
Hey, here we go.
Oh,
All right, now here we go.
Not sure if that was an intentional fake out or
that was me trying to do a what do you call it? A super jump, but I missed.
no, I meant from Axem. I'm not sure if he was taking out a charge or just released too early.
Oh, right.
Dive kick.
All right. Chill, man. Hey.
Aw.
Wins.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I feel like this matchup's so bad, because super jump does so well. The ability to get up and fast. It really has a problem with Jeff because his head is up there, and usually when he gets a big head, he can get over characters, but he just can't get over Sensei at all. So it
The
just
super jump is too fast.
yeah.
Yeah. In addition to it being high.
Exactly. All right. Guess we can go into. Do you want to play one of your better characters, Laitome, or if no one has a suggestion on a match?
I was going to play Jeff.
I can let you have
I
all the
think a
bad
good character to
matchups.
show off here would be Kung.
Okay.
That might be good, yeah.
I think of the Kung as having one of the better matchups against Sensei, and I can kind of explain it as we get into it.
Yeah, except my Kung's pretty bad.
Oh, you know what? I'll do a quick explanation really quick. Let me see.
Yeah.
Go to Scribble. All right. So Kung's kick kind of comes across. Actually, you guys can't see this. 1 second. We change the share so you guys can watch that as well.
We have the stream. Probably both have the stream open, so we can
It's probably better you guys can see it in real time. All right, so Kung's kick comes across, and that's very good for Sensei with a handstand, because like you can aim pretty high and still hit his feet, and it also changes that kickback. And a lot of like foot interactions with the boot. Normally that's because like dive will kick, and let's say you both land in the same spot, you'll win those interactions with Sensei, but Kung's doesn't like land low, and her hitbox is like active further on, so they tend to like hit Sensei in the head if that same type of interaction occurs. And so it's pretty tough. Plus her kickback's pretty good in terms of chasing Kung from a normal jump. Because she kicks back decently, she can't escape that like Markman can. But so it's hard for me to go and just commit to large attacks, because like Dive's kickback is fairly slow, so I can kind of catch that arc when he's a little bit higher. But with Kung, she's a little bit lower. But Kung is very good at punishing bad movement, and Sensei just doesn't have great movement, so that's what makes I think that makes that, combined with the fact that the toe taps will tend to go towards Kung because Sensei doesn't attempt the toe taps, that allows her to bully Sensei out of the position that Sensei wants to be in, and that's trying to inch them forward using their unreactable distance, since Kung's has a better unreactable distance, and that basically nullifies Sensei's attack. And that's why I feel like he has the hardest matchup with her. Alright, hopefully that helps you kind of put the... As far as strategy-wise, but obviously it's going to be hard to implement if you don't play Kung that well.
Yeah, well, I know the strategy. It's just that my Kung is... Yeah, I consider it mediocre.
Okay.
It's a clean explanation. No, I'd agree with all those.
Yeah.
She can retreat more easily. Her kick, because it's a shallow angle, it tends to end higher when she lands.
Select your break. Select your duds.
Also, yeah, kick gem for both characters, because this character's the matchup is based so much on the movement. I don't think I would ever go dive gem on this matchup as either character.
I mean, what would dive gem even get you in this matchup?
Round one. Dive kick.
Get you a slower death.
And just by doing basic movement, I get a free headshot.
I was actually trying to time your kick in, because my foot-to-foot interactions usually win. I just whiffed there. Alright. At least my reactions are okay. You say you had a question?
Oh, just saying it's a question of height, yeah, for those interactions.
Okay. That was my head, just trying to get my head out of the way, because the portal, like, I was, like, surprised by it, so... Panic movement. Those are the type of attacks I want, just DK into her leg. Oh, okay, so I was going for the headshot, assuming she would jump back. She stood still, so that was great standstill by me. Oh, just throwing out a super jump attack there. Yeah.
Try to get over you.
Yeah, that was me using super jump to chase down. If I catch you in a kick, it'll be hard for you to react.
Uncle Sensei wins.
So what I'm aiming for is, as you're coming forward with your kickback kick movement, if I have super jump, I can catch you when you're doing the kick part. It'll take you some time before you can land, and then that removes time for you to escape. And hopefully you escape in the direction I choose to kick, because I can choose to end it early, or like to go steep, or keep going long. Usually I'll keep going long, so you could kind of mix it up there to get underneath if you stand still or move forward.
I should be focusing more on like staying near you, because my danger zone's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
This from above.
You are giving me some decent space right now.
Yeah, I'm giving you a lot of space.
Ah, there it is.
Round two. Dive kick. Round three. Dive kick.
Oh, nice. Gotta worry about that.
Round four. Dive kick and shot.
Okay, this is the one thing I am happy about, is that I can decently aim a what do you call it? Chain up the headshots.
chains.
Yeah. She jumps so low, and now that
Round six. Dive kick. Samples. Is that nickel? Magic here.
Kickfactor helps too.
yeah, kick factor helps a lot, but
Round seven. Dive kick.
Free change.
Yep.
Uncle Sensei wins.
yeah, that's what I feel like brings Uncle Sensei back, is if he does land a headshot, it's very, very good for him. But yeah, it's still pretty hard.
This from above.
Trying to think what else I could say about this matchup. I think I've said most of.
One.
I think that Kung's kick factor is a lot scarier than the portal, but I mean, you're using portal really well and catching me, so.
Switch up, nickel. Here we go. Mr. Porridge.
Round two. Dive kick.
You'll probably punish that.
Hey. Here we go. Free change.
Nice, nice.
Oh, it was a good last minute dodge, yeah.
Yeah.
Round 3 Divekick.
Switch up.
I'm giving you too much space.
Switch up.
Oh, okay. I did the switch up on purpose to try to get you to kick, but I was hoping to be further than that.
Is that nickel?
Just went over.
Missed that point blank.
Round 5 Divekick.
So high right now.
Round 6 Divekick.
Yeah, I need to remember that. In handstands, you win that if you just spam it. But in
Right, man. Switch up. Free change.
ooh, I had you, but I didn't.
Yeah, I switched into the other kick. I thought you might go for it.
Switch. Free change. Take off. Is that nickel? So high. Switch up.
Oh.
Switch.
Oh, nice.
God.
Round 9.
Okay, I can see what you mean by Kickfactor being really good in this matchup if you don't blunder yourself like that.
Yeah, yeah. I
The
like.
speed is scary.
Yeah, the chase down is like I pretty much can't do anything because your retreat and your forward movement is really good. So I kind of just wait it out, and I hopefully have a super jump to get me more time to wait it out. Because the super jump
Yeah,
puts me safe for a
if you're
while.
more used to like the style of Kung that relies on pressuring,
Mhm.
I think that would have gone much better.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
obviously I'm not. I play Kung Kenny, which is very defensive.
Do any of you guys have a decent sensei? If we can, we can do the opposite because I do know a little bit of the Kung side of this.
I could try it.
Okay, so just so we can kind of show the different opposite movement, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Select your character.
Oh, whoops. You want to like a warm up round as
Free samples on Sundays, man.
No, I think we should be okay.
Okay. Hopefully, I don't need a warm up round as well.
Oh, I mean, if you want one, we can. But
No, it's okay. We'll just feel it out. I'll probably be very, very patient in this one. I won't be too patient to lose the line because obviously don't want to go to line, but I just want to be able to build up to kick back to views.
Mhm.
Round 1 Divekick.
Switch. Bum deal.
should have done that initial switch.
Round 2 Divekick.
All right. Switch up. Hey. Is that nickel? Switch. I'm broke, man.
Round 3 Divekick.
Change. All right.
Oh, okay. I was hoping to catch that movement forward, but a little too early.
Round 4 Divekick.
Free change. Switch. All right. Is that nickel? So high. Switch up. Switch. Is that nickel?
Ooh, nice. I think I should have jumped a little bit later there because the kick factor would allow me to catch you anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
Here we go. Is that nickel? Switch up.
Just a little late on my punishes, but I feel like I have to be a little bit closer.
Nickel.
Got a little too close.
Round 7 Divekick.
Bad mojo.
So I don't know if you're noticing this, but Laitome, I'm going my attacks a little bit higher because you want to aim for those.
Change.
Oh, that's bad.
You want to aim for those like extending feet when he hits the handstands.
Yeah.
He can't really jump out of that, even if he has some time, even at like a kickback or a jump up, you'll still catch it.
Yeah, you're much more forward than I am.
Oh yes, I think that's just more of my style. I like to walk forward.
Round
Yeah.
1 Divekick.
Switch up. Change. Bankruptcy.
Yeah, you're going for a lot more high kicks.
Yeah.
Round
Particularly when you're trying to challenge or just...
Oh, that's bad. Would have been nice to have a portal there, but I kind of just went for it.
Round 3
Is
Divekick.
that nickel? Oh man.
I forget,
Yeah.
is Kung's kickback faster than Uncle's Superman?
It is.
Switch up now. Take on. All right. Reach
Oh, clicked that by accident.
Jane. Mr. Porridge.
Oh wow, Kung actually almost reaches
Oh dang.
Sensei and when he's on his legs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stay calm. So high right now. Evicted.
Nice try for the attack. I just happened to kick back at that moment. That wasn't a reaction. Ooh, I should have done just a YOLO kick into the corner because you kick backing in handstands is not good.
Switch up.
There, I figured you're gonna take a kick forward, so I just punished that.
There's always that question: how close do I get?
Yes.
The eternal question of when do I swap?
Well, I mean, he was even in his short kick there, but he could have swapped into his longer one for sure.
Yes, from above. Round one. Divekick.
All right. All right. Shane. Here we go. Switch up. Bankruptcy.
Round two. Divekick.
Switch. All right. Shane.
Oh, nice. I'm going for the landing punish, but he went for the YOLO kick.
Sensei mix-ups.
Here we go. Switch up.
Oh, yeah, and then too close.
Yeah.
I feel used to how quickly that comes out for Kung.
Four. Divekick.
Ah, right.
Round five. Divekick.
Here we go.
Oh, I thought I jumped. Okay.
Round six. Divekick. Double KO.
That was just my foot getting in pretty far enough into your boot.
Seven. Divekick.
Ooh, I thought I had that. Not far enough.
Hector.
Got that outstretched knee.
Eight. Divekick.
It's funny how many characters have that, actually.
Ooh. Not good enough to chase. Have to be a little bit closer.
Round nine. Divekick.
Rechange. Is that nickel? Switch.
Oh. Bad time to switch.
Yeah, I think you were dead even if you didn't switch there.
It's like there's that one pivot point where he's actually in the same head position.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, I think that was 3.
Yep.
Any other matchups you guys want to see?
It's hard. I feel like Sensei is weird for everyone because he doesn't show up that much in tournaments.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sensei's like the hardest character to play.
I wouldn't say that. I think stream is pretty hard to play. But that's just my personal opinion.
Sensei is tricky. I wouldn't say it's the
figure out
hardest.
now. I'll do stream then.
Oh, what's it called? How's your stream, Laitome, maybe?
Better than it used to be.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Jump in.
like, I don't absolutely hate getting the stances Kenny anymore. So that's a plus.
That's good.
Eric, do your character.
If I win, the boys won't find out I'm broke.
Select your jewel. Select.
Now I do
your
have to
guns.
remember that the corner is not my friend here.
Yeah, it's stream is a very baity character, and so I could just play defense, but I'm very aggressive when I play against stream. I think the better play would the higher percentage play would be wait for stream to come to you, but stream can go underneath, and he can like do a slow attack like that to punish movement as well. And missiles are never good. Yeah, see like that, where your ground movement's still better than Uncle Sensei, so you can
Yeah.
kind of extend if you want to punish my my movement. Stream does have a very good headshot ability as well too, so not to get Kickfactor, I'll have to worry about that. Oh, got stuck in.
Here we go. Hey, rechange. All right.
If I ever super jump, I have to be careful of like stream just getting out underneath.
Yeah. And that's basically how I have to manage this as stream, is I have to very carefully manage where I land and how I land.
Yeah.
and not accidentally use my ground special.
Round 6.
Not gonna get the angle. Actually, no, I don't think the angle exists for against Sensei.
So
I know against Markman and Kenny, and Kung, like if Stream is at his highest angle, they can't hit him. But
there are angles where you can dodge Sensei's dive punch easily, but the dive kick's a little bit harder because it's steeper. But you can dodge the dive punch at certain angles. The good thing that I would look for as Stream is if I ever make any empty jumps, those are opportunities to possibly punish me if I'm not paying attention, because I tend to jump pretty high and you can kind of like go in under the radar or underneath the camera and tag my landing. I've been surprised by those plenty of times. But now that I said it, probably don't try it soon.
Yes, from
well,
above.
yeah, now that you said it, you're gonna see it coming.
Yeah.
Round 1. Dive kick.
All right. Hey, calm. My meta game.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Switch up. Switch.
Yeah, there I could have got tagged if I didn't kick forward there.
Kite, man.
I could have used flame bait to turn around there, but you might have wanted to save your meter.
Oh, I didn't realize I could. I didn't think it turned you around.
Yeah, flame bait does auto face.
All right.
Ooh, I thought I would get your landing.
I was just like, alright, Kickfactor's almost done. I'm just using my super jump here to get out the way.
Is that nickel?
The thing about
Yeah, you're
stream...
catching,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
you're catching my innings too well.
Warning. Fraud detection.
When you go for the yellow kicks.
5. Dive kick.
Or even when I'm just slightly horizontal.
Detection
Nice, nice.
averted.
Very good dodge there.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Chain Chain.
Oh,
Hurry up.
bit of a
No
YOLO.
way I could get in.
Wins.
Yeah, a bit of a YOLO there. I was kind of prepared for it.
At that point, you have a super jump, so like you could literally punish any move I make.
Yeah, as far as like attacking from high. The thing about Stream is that he always has, if you don't chase him down, he always has missiles. And missiles, I mean, they're not the end all be all, but they're freaking good. And so
They're really distracting.
yeah, they're pretty good. You can set up an attack that is hard to dodge if you give Stream enough time. He'll set up an attack that is very, very hard to get out of. And so you always have to pressure Stream, and Stream wants that because he's very good at, like, his kickback is very, very good at escaping things. So whenever I play as Stream, I think I move forward with Stream. That's just my style. But I've seen people do really well just by defending and building up Kickfactor as well.
I mean, I've been trying to move in, but someone's been hitting me.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Switch. Oh, man.
Ooh, I thought I had you.
It's very close.
Round 2. Dive kick.
Chain.
I don't think kickback would have gotten me out of there either.
Yeah, you should have went underneath instead of doing a kickback there.
Switch.
I think if I were a bit more aggressive there, I actually would have gotten you.
Round 4. Dive kick.
That man. So high right now. Chain. Switch. Bad mode.
And that is the situation I want the most.
Yeah.
Round
When you are standing on your legs and jumping in the air.
I just in a bad spot, so I just super jumped out of panic.
6. Dive kick.
Change.
Oh, that's a good swap.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna miss. Let me swap it.
Caught the tip of my head.
All right, what's next? Axem, do you have a character you want to play?
Oh, I should have been thinking about that.
I'd say you could try Baz. If I recall correctly, it's actually I don't know how that matchup goes.
I'd probably place it somewhere around even. It can kind of turn into a bit of an arms race where Baz wants his lightning dashes and
Yeah.
Uncle Sensei wants his super jump.
Yeah. I would agree with Axem there in that super jump and lightning are very much the tools that they need to trade.
Ooh, what you got coming?
Because Uncle Sensei's attack is slow enough that the Baz lightning does fairly well. Like Uncle Sensei usually can trap people with the amount of angles he can do, but the Baz can kind of like zip out of there whenever he wants to if he has special. So
Basically, that's all the angles, right?
yeah, the problem is Uncle Sensei's slow enough on the movement of the kicks that if I let him have enough lightning, then it's going to be really tough for me to attack. And so I'm trying to pressure him, and having a faster jump allows me to do that. So I want to have super jump available because he jumps pretty high, and if I'm relying on when I get into handstands only, or yeah, it's going to be tough.
This from above.
All right, good luck, have fun.
One, dive kick.
Yep.
Cold reception.
Round two, dive kick.
Is that nickel? Switch. Party.
Right there, he could have what do you call it?
Round
Zipped out of the way. Yeah,
Lightninged.
yeah, lightninged. Air specialed.
Round four, dive kick.
Ooh.
Man.
I jumped out of the way lightning, but I was a bit slow on my landing.
Dive kick.
Rechange. Switch. Rechange. So high right now.
So that's a little bit harder to lightning out of because the jump, I cut the time on the jump. Ooh. Oh, very nice turnaround there.
Ooh. It was fortunate spacing, but I'd take advantage.
Round seven, dive kick.
Alright, I'll take it.
Round eight, dive kick.
Oh.
Shouldn't have tried that twice. So greedy.
This is gonna be tough now.
Round nine, dive kick.
Switch.
Oh! I thought I
barely.
would be able to chase that. Yeah, that's just bad spacing on my part. But normally, that's a very bad situation for Baz.
Especially at at that round point, yeah, or that round count rather.
Yeah, normally Baz does against a higher jumper when he's concussed. It's pretty bad because his kickback jump doesn't really retreat. It kind of just goes high. So any high jumpers that can land high attacks can usually chain or get an easy win. And actually, that should have been my win. I thought I could get that chase down, but I obviously haven't played this matchup in a while. So
It's been a while, yeah, for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Shoals. He has both angles, so it can be hard to escape for Baz.
exactly.
One, dive kick.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, the pivot points.
Yes.
Round two, dive kick.
All right, that's my bad. Made you use the lightning and kill me, so
Yep.
Round
no
Which I'll
headshot.
still take, but
dive kick.
there could be like some swings of fortune here.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll use meter for lightning, I'll get a kill, but then you have meter and I don't, so... Oh,
Yeah.
oops, I thought I
Oops,
catch it.
forgot the drop there. Yeah.
Round five, dive kick.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I was not fast enough. I saw it coming. I just wanted to see if I can do a super jump into kicking you.
Six, dive kick.
Switch up.
Ooh. Okay, I tried it again.
Wins.
All right. I guess
Trying
I'm
to
not
catch
fast
the
enough to
lightning.
do that. Yeah. I can see the attack coming, but
Well, it's, it's a matter of when am I going to release it, and that even just a fraction of a second difference can make it dicey.
yeah, he moves so fast across. So.
From above.
All right. We'll try not to go for those and just try to win on regular ones.
Dive kick.
Ooh.
Bad mojo.
The YOLO kick. Did not expect it.
Round two,
The thing is, if I... Oop, that's bad.
Yeah.
If I always meter build, then I'm always like giving up space.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do have to threaten that on occasion.
Oh, that was a bad one. I was trying to do a switch into a kick, but I plinked it a little bit.
Round
Mhm.
4.
Right now.
Ooh, after image.
Oh, yeah, sometimes that happens with
Round
Uncle Sensei's kicks.
Switch.
Double
Oh,
kill.
yep. Gotta remember those ankle ins.
Round 6.
Switch up. Switch.
Oh. Survived,
After all
though,
that.
survived.
Round 7.
High as a kite, man.
Oh, that knee.
Uncle Sensei wins.
So many characters have that, it's funny. Like they just bend their knee a little bit as they're jumping up.
Yeah, yeah, it sticks out just a little bit. But the bottom, like below the knee, is not hittable, so.
True, so if you get past that early enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, from above. Round 1.
That does happen a lot on that type of interaction.
Round 2.
Ooh,
Bankruptcy.
Perfecto.
just the back of my feet.
Round 3.
Change. Here we go. Rechange.
Oh.
Oh,
Here we go.
Slippery.
Lifted.
Yeah, that's when you're playing Uncle Sensei against Baz, managing that kick distance, the startup distance is
Right now.
pretty key because you want to be able to jump like up, and then you have to avoid that first kick.
5.
Hey. Right, man.
Perfecto. Round 6.
oh, I thought I got past.
Yeah, you have to use Bazooka to get rid of that, I think.
I think if you ankle the rope fling just enough.
Oh. Yeah, my timing on that is bad.
Round 8.
All right. Switch. Switch up. Is that a nickel?
Oh.
Oh, that got me good.
Should have kicked there. Would have got rid of my feet.
Round 9.
Switch up. Switch.
Ooh.
Here we go. All right.
Oh.
Oh,
Mr.
Yeah, I meant to go underneath, but my jump just went high. Nice one, nice one.
there are a lot of weird interactions in this matchup, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the very beginning when you said it's definitely lightning versus super jump, that's definitely what I would put it at. It's us trying to use those specific tools, and then the interactions. Like, there's a lot of things that I was missing just based off of bad spacing, but I definitely felt fine. If I can hit those ones, I should be okay. And then Baz has an issue with if he does get headshot, he's at a pretty bad deficit. But overall, I think Baz is the driver of the matchup in terms of you can't leave Baz alone. So Sensei has to chase.
That's the pressure, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you can make Baz use the lightning and it doesn't work, then you can have a pretty significant meter advantage, at least for a time.
yeah, yeah. You want
Like
the
if
go ahead.
oh, if anything, I might give Sensei maybe a slight advantage depending on how efficient the meter building is. It's hard to say though.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean the Baz having 2 delays just on his normals makes it hard for Sensei to come in, because Sensei doesn't really have like a turnaround or anything that stalls him, so he has to just keep going.
Right.
So whenever he makes an attack, it's a committed attack, and then Baz, like with his bazookan and his swing, can move around the screen pretty well through the air. And so I'm not really threatening your ground movement with my unreactable distance anymore. I'm only using my air control to kind of attack you. And that's all the air control are all committed attacks. So it's, like I said, it's pretty tough. And I'm the one that has to be doing the attacking because I can't just give you special meter.
3 meter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could try to go to line, but I mean, you have both, what do you call it?
I feel like they both have tools for line. Yeah, it could be tricky.
Yeah, Bazookan and your ground special are both really good tools for line, so it'll be tough to go line as well.
Shocker, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because you can basically hold the line for a full second if I'm not ready to hit you before you hit that. So you
Yeah,
could
the
just
charge up,
overlap.
yeah.
Yeah, you could just overlap it, and me going over is not going to work because the lightning from above will kill me as well.
Oh, right, like you're midair and you don't commit to a kick, but you land on the electrified Baz. That can happen.
No. So
Or I think of Shoals actually. But
yeah, anybody who can enter the line from above safely has a good chance of tying line always if they have very good timing, but not against Baz because Baz can just use his special to hit anything above him. So yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Also turn his hitbox into a hitbox, which does matter because if you're trying to contest line,
Yeah,
and he's still covered in lightning, you're gonna get hit.
I think I was counting the wins wrong there. I gave Axem the 3. I was like counting him as me previously, but yeah, well played.
oh wait, what was the score? I wasn't even counting.
It was
3-1.
3-1. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was almost gonna tie it up there. Laitome, do you have another character?
I must have totally
no.
lost track of the score of that one. Okay.
Really? I was gonna say Shoals, but then I remembered no, that matchup was actually really Sensei favored.
I would say 6-4 probably. Shoals' mid-range attack does pretty good against like a landing Sensei. It's just how to set that up, and the fakes can be a problem. But once he has super jump, then he's pretty much okay. But what Shoals wants at that point is a little bit of extra meter, so she can throw out fakes and bait the super jump. Because if she can bait the super jump at the wrong time, then she has a good shot at catching Sensei, and that's really based off her meter. But I believe that Sensei is more meter efficient in that matchup. So it goes more towards Sensei favored, but I feel that Shoals has enough tools to take wins out of the matchup.
Yeah. Except I'm not Capconian, so.
Do you want to just go Kenny then?
I was thinking red.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise.
sure. We can do red too.
I'm not sure how many more matches you're planning on having here.
Let's see, 720, so at least 2 more, and we can go more if we feel like exploring it some more. Fix the names here, and I'll do a quick description of the matchup. So I have this as red favored because of the fact that red is just a lot faster.
Yeah.
And Uncle Sensei's kick does well because it could put opponents in a bad spot where they don't know if they should jump or not. And red has this option where she could just duck. And so
I'd give you my 2 cents, but I kind of need it, man.
with Uncle Sensei's kick speed, it's really hard to punish things that red does. Like one of the weaknesses red has is her kickback, but Uncle Sensei is never going to be able to chase that down. And so I would say that the speed at which Redacted moves plus like some specific foot interactions, Uncle Sensei usually wins the foot-to-foot meetings on the ground. Red now, that's totally flipped, and red now wins those. So most of the time, Sensei will want super jump to basically compete in the speed category, but the opening to actually land hits are only when red's attacking. So it's a very small windows to attack, and that's why I feel like red has the advantage.
I do wonder whether Sensei can angle into feral stance with some smart stance switching.
The problem is the lower that he gets, the faster that Redacted can just punish with a jump kick.
It can just react, right?
Yeah.
You can't spell Redacted without reacted.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Hey. Change.
I tried to stand.
Round 2. Divekick.
Here we go. Is that nickel? Switch.
Double kill.
Hopefully I can chain out here.
Round 3.
Yeah, once reacted's concussed, that's much dicier.
All right. Switch.
Multi kill.
I'm right into that one.
Round 4. Divekick.
Yeah, I'm basically just trying to shift my hitbox here so that he doesn't get a headshot. Obviously, it's not working.
Round 5. Divekick.
Reach that nickel.
Yeah.
Fraud detected.
That is what you want, just not at the match point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just lucky there, kind of chaining the headshots there, but Redacted does have a problem when she's headshot because the turnaround's active and she can't really retreat. So
Yes, from above.
Yeah,
He's
and you lose access to feral stance most
yeah,
importantly.
most importantly, yeah.
1. Divekick.
Hey, Shane. Is that nickel?
There it is.
Yep. Just ducking right under.
Yep.
2. Divekick.
Ooh, I tried to react.
Round 3. Divekick.
Too slow in the stance.
Yeah, you
Probably
could
would've
have
hit me anyway,
definitely.
but-
I think you could have ducked that one. If you could see yourself in regular stance, you can duck it because you can actually cancel your landing stance. So you could have been in it at that point.
5. Divekick.
Is that nickel? Shane.
Meritich.
And oh yeah, I forgot. Red
The
gets
turnaround.
crossed up.
Yeah.
Cross up.
Round
Yeah, I think maybe there's a
6.
slight window where you can jump right before the turnaround, but I forget.
Uncle Sensei wins.
You can, and then hopefully you can get hit and not turn around. But it's really tight timing.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Divekick.
All right. Stay calm.
Oh, that was bad movement.
Bankruptcy.
A little too close to you.
2. Divekick.
Hey, switch up. All right. Rechange. Mr. Porridge.
Perfecto. Round 3. Divekick.
Shane. Switch up.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I want to get out of handstand movement as soon as possible when you're in Kickfactor.
Rechange.
Oh.
Because that's when a toe tap becomes a headshot.
Round 5. Divekick.
Hey, switch that nickel.
Here.
Do you have any suggestions for like not getting this just chained to death? Because that's what's happening every single game.
Rechange. Switch.
So
There we go.
stay still and jump at the right moment. That's all I can say. That's what I try to do.
7. Divekick.
The question is whether you jump or not.
Is that nickel? All right. Here we go. Is that nickel?
Yeah, you could have ducked that.
Yeah, duck.
Sorry, Blabur in the chat said, "Yeah, just don't get headshot."
Switch up. Switch.
Good to know.
Uncle Sensei.
I think I actually could have gotten that if I were a bit faster.
It's
That
a little
last
tough.
one?
I know that if you're in feral stance, you have to do a goofy jump to jump before I pass you, because if I pass you, that decreases the chances to actually catching it. It all depends on how far away I actually switch into it and how high I am, but you can't catch that every single time. It's really dependent on the spacing.
I think
you were-
if I didn't get frickin' headshot every time.
Fair enough.
I think like every hit you got was either a headshot or a chained from a headshot.
I mean, that's my best chance at winning this matchup, because
Yeah.
I believe that the speed on Redacted is pretty good against Uncle Sensei.
If I were better at like just using stance, I think
Oh, the feral stance.
yeah, I could have at least gotten a game off you. But no,
What?
my hand's too slow.
Labuer, do you have a request at all? If you do, just throw it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to jump into Axems.
Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, Sensei, very good at chaining headshots.
Yeah,
Like,
the ability to
Almost
switch.
the entire cast, he's good at it.
Yeah, the ability to get over anyone with super jump.
And having a shoals angle without the downsides of shoals.
These
Alright.
will be the final adjustments.
Very much help
Select your jewels.
with headshot chaining. And shoals is already amazing at headshot chaining.
Okay, we can talk about this matchup. I feel like this matchup's fairly even. S-Kill's parry works wonders in this matchup. Uncle Sensei's kick is slow enough that S-Kill can like miss a kick and panic parry and basically do a reversal by the time that Uncle Sensei's hit lands. S-Kill is worried about like being pressured too much, but there are plenty of places to trick Sensei because even though because he jumps so high, there's a lot of areas where you can like you can trick when he's doing a horizontal kick where you show up and then you show up kind of behind as he passes and you face yourself, and you can, and his feet are so high that when you do teleport above him, there's a very large target to hit.
Right, a handstand stance.
Yeah, handstands, yeah. And again, Uncle Sensei has to face because trick is good. There we go, nice.
Round 2.
Ooh, very good. About to get Kickfactor. I don't know if I want it. We'll see.
Oh, a little too early. Got caught in the in-between frames.
Yeah. Nice.
It is worth noting that S-Kill cannot parry Sensei out of headshot, S-Kill cannot headshot Sensei out of parry, in part because of the fact that they share kick angles, and, well, Sensei's dive kick shares the same angle as S-Kill's, and S-Kill doesn't angle himself properly for the headshot after a parry against Sensei, and the handstance is too low. So Sensei moves forward a bit, and then S-Kill ends up just hitting him in the back of the neck instead.
Yeah, usually S-Kill does pretty bad against characters who have really good ground movement and can aim low. Like Kick is probably his worst matchup.
Can be tricky, yeah.
Sensei's like trying to punish S-Kill meter is kind of tough, just because like, you know, you've seen me like try to go low, but it's still kind of high. Oh. Nice.
Ooh. Hoping that would be a headshot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right in the
Not
hand.
fast. Yeah, not fast enough to hit that. Trying to go for the toe tap. A little slow.
Yeah, I was a little worried. Wasn't sure I was gonna go. Oh,
All right.
that was a bit greedy of me, yeah.
Yeah, fake with the switch.
No chain.
Yeah, no chain. Oh,
Oh,
there
right,
he goes,
yeah.
the taps.
I think Sensei's gonna win those.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, normally Sensei likes to chase them back into a corner because he can switch up his angles. Can't do that against S-Kill because he could just land and parry. So, because the attack isn't fast at all, it's just encroaching, I guess you could call it.
I mean, I guess S-Kill's parry forces a lot of matchups towards somewhere around even, just because you always have that mix-up.
Yeah. I'll gladly take those trades. I think I have a higher chance of winning them.
Oh, yep. Can't be too excited about those.
Try not to fall for it. Nice. S-Kill's very dodgy too with his double jumps. Oh, too early.
Gotta punish the low occasionally, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Although,
The tragedy of S-Kill, you get your opponent concussed, but they still pressure you.
Well, I mean, he's just gonna build meter. I can't just like sit back. Yes. All I'm looking for, toe taps, toe taps. I'm like waiting for the trick to come
So,
out.
for those, sometimes you want to wait after the teleport to kick.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can be very tempting to kick right away, but sometimes you want to wait a little bit.
Uncle Sensei wins.
It can be like that with shoals too, I think, right? Like you have to wait a fraction of a second to get the headshot.
Yeah, depending on the
the parry?
angle of the person when you show up, there is times where you want to wait, and we'll probably go over this more next week because we're gonna go over Eskil next week. But
Oh, right.
if you're kicking already when you do your teleport, you'll come out kicking. So you can only change the timing of your kick if you do it when you're not kicking.
Right, so sometimes you want to be kicking straight out of it, and sometimes you don't. But it can be very tricky to juggle that at high speed.
Yeah, and also
Mentally.
if you accidentally plank kick before you do it, you might
Oh,
have
yes.
started your kick already. So,
Which can be painful,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I'll have to test that out more to kind of get the interactions, but we'll probably talk about that next week for the Eskil character.
Yep.
This from above. Round 1.
That might have been high enough to parry.
Round 2.
I don't know. Sensei's boot is very low. That kick.
Trying to get you to panic jump, but I guess you're just parry spamming.
Yeah, spam 2 and then jump in. See, and that's where you want to, instead of parrying, you just like jump in again.
Yeah,
It can
yeah.
kind of be like, do I feral or do I dive kick again?
Yes, exactly.
As red.
I probably
Yeah,
should have
this
been a
is
little.
learning.
I probably should have been a
little
little
higher,
more greedy to go for the headshot there.
Oop, oh, didn't react.
Round
Alright.
6. Uncle Sensei wins.
Just
Yeah,
using
imagine
my
what this
speed.
would have been like back when parry only had 4 frames of recovery.
That was way too spammy, yeah.
And like no indication of when he was in recovery.
Alright, who else do we want to see? Anybody else? Actually, Laitome, let's do your Kenny, and then maybe we'll end it on like Fencer, maybe?
Sure.
Axem, do you want to play Fencer, or do you want to play Sensei after this?
I may as well get the fencer practice.
Okay.
Udarox the Almighty showed me this technique.
Alright, and this is going to be an RNG fest, except Sensei is horrendously favored at the beginning of every round.
So I would say Uncle Sensei still pressured to move forward in this match. I think anybody who's playing Kenny needs to be wary that Kenny's bullet is very, very, very good. So yeah, you want to stop him from building it, or at least make him work harder to build it. So I'm going to be kind of moving forward, but I don't know what I'm moving forward into, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and if I get lucky and I just DK start a round,
Kong, yeah,
Kong.
you might kill me.
That's basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic. You're going to get a lot of those against Kenny because he's so wide, so.
Yeah, I need to remember that. Ah! That was a misinput. I didn't mean to kick back there.
Round 3.
Free change. Switch. Switch
Oh.
Had to play risky.
Yeah, I actually have. So Uncle Sensei in that matchup without any stalls is really good for Sensei. Ooh. Thought I was able to catch you when you landed, but you were too fast there.
Round 5.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to double fire!
I was like, I don't think it's gonna reach me, but I'll try to attack after it's
Yeah,
gone.
if it was just the one, I would have been.
Double kill.
That was Sensei, I believe.
Yep.
Getting
And I should have just
kickfactors.
let that go.
Getting kick.
Now I got chained.
7.
Free change.
Yeah.
Uncle
And that is the situation Sensei wants, is when you're in the corner
What were you gonna
and
say?
he's coming down high.
Axem, you were in the middle of saying something as well.
Getting Kickfactor as Sensei is so liberating. You know, it's like, oh, I have like average move speed now.
Yeah, average. Yeah, it's like, oh, I can move at a, I'm not super slow.
You can chase.
It is a double-edged sword because your movement is just so large sometimes that you just move too close as well.
Yes, from above.
True, true.
Round one. Dive kick.
Oh, nice.
Round two. Dive kick.
Just underneath.
Yep.
Round three. Dive kick.
Ooh. I wanted to get close and use my handstands jump, but I got way too close there.
Four. Dive kick.
Okay, don't worry about misses now.
Ah, I didn't mean. I shot my bullet too early.
Yeah, yeah.
Round five.
I didn't realize I shot it.
Switch! Here we go. Switch up. So high right now.
Oh, I have the after image.
Yeah, that does sometimes happen.
Change. Is that a nickel?
Ooh, I should have just left my dive punch there.
I do that so often.
Seven. Dive kick.
Stay calm.
Oh, I kicked a little too early. I should have had that one.
Yeah.
Round eight. Dive kick.
Okay, this is a decent matchup here.
I don't have parry.
Yeah, no
so
parry, so we're okay.
I can't just sit in the corner and wait for you. Are you fucking kidding me? And wow, I am.
Switch up. Rechange.
Trying to go under.
Sensei wins.
Actually, I think if I just hit nothing, I would have been fine there.
I don't know. I guess so, maybe. But yeah, that was a bad roll at the end there.
Yes, from above.
You had enough meter for the bullet too.
Round one. Dive kick.
Oh man.
Okay.
Just a
I
tap.
guess my kickback didn't come out.
Round
I
two.
was spamming the button, but
Right now.
I had to go under. And I have the after image again. Thank you, game.
Round
Sorry.
three. Dive kick.
All right. Is that a nickel?
Oh, wrong kick.
Round four. Dive kick. Round five. Dive kick. End shot.
Ah,
Nothing lasts forever.
not ham enough.
Not having enough.
Round six. Dive kick.
Change.
Oh, too close.
Mojo.
Round
Hey, be glad you don't have a giant
seven.
sensei on your screen.
Hey, high as a kite, man. Rechange.
Oh.
Dumb deal.
Should be gone now.
Round
Yeah.
eight. Dive kick.
We know what causes that.
I don't know. I think it's just it's left on. It's just trying to render it, and then if I get out of the kick fast enough, it just gets stuck sometimes.
God dang.
Uncle
Almost.
Sensei wins.
Good catch though.
Yeah, I was able to slip underneath the bullet so I can jump up. Actually, sometimes like
Like the bullet barely touched your feet at the.
yeah,
at
it was
that
really
kick there.
close, really close. GG.
GG. Feels bad. Didn't win a single game today, but
No worries. We're just putting things on display.
yeah, I know. Still hurt.
Still hurts. Axem?
Oh, right. Fencer?
Yeah. Did you want to? Which side did you want to play?
I kind of feel like playing Fencer, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries. So I think I had this
Isn't
one
Steve
even,
Sensei favored. Like, I
even
don't-
or Sensei favored just a little bit because of the super big kickbox advantage. But so Fencer, in order to play against him, you want to be able to 1, defend sword, 2, stop him from passing you, and 3, win the line game. Sensei definitely has a line game, but his ground movement is pretty hard to prevent passing. So you have to be really good at your ground movement. And as we talked about before, Sensei's ground movement is hard. It moves long and slow. So if you set up correctly, then you can defend well. But making adjustments and trying to peg Fencer can be hard. But you do have that big kickbox if you do get into kick clashes.
Select your character.
Prepare to strike. I did, and Mega Mart fired me, man.
Select your jewels. Select your duds.
Fencer's roll is really good against Sensei's slow attack as well. So it can be used to kind of get past him or avoid like headshots or high attacks.
Yes, from above. Round
I also thought this matchup would be very heavily Sensei favored.
switch.
Definitely not because the ground movement is so. If you have really good ground movement, you're a lot better at Fencer or versus Fencer. But Sensei's movement just makes it that hard. So I think I put it even or maybe slightly Sensei, but definitely not favored that heavily. Only because he does have line and he's pretty good at defending. So
Perfecto. Round four.
you should be able to get the sword now if you want.
Here we go.
Oh damn! It's getting aggressive there. I thought I'd be able to get a hit, but not. You should have your sword now.
Dive kick.
Rechange.
So I'm just playing for line here. Maybe I'll hit him if he goes down. You gave me a sword, so I'm happy. It's kind of what I wanted.
Six. Dive kick.
Here we go. Free samples.
Ooh,
Evicted.
Round seven. Dive kick.
Dude, chill, man.
just close enough.
Round eight. Dive
Stay
kick.
calm.
Oh, my reaction there was a bit slow.
Round nine. Dive kick.
Here we go. All right. All right.
Uncle Sensei wins.
Yeah, so this plays out like most Fencer battles. Separate him from sword, defend it. If not, go to line. I feel like you'll have the advantage at line. Fencer will try to get his sword back, or he'll try to pass you once he gets Kickfactor.
Yes, from
But
above.
if you can be patient, you should have the advantage.
One. Dive kick. Headshot.
Aw.
No roll when you have sword, unfortunately.
Round two. Dive kick.
Hey. All right. Shane.
Double kill. Round three. Dive kick.
Dude, here we go. Stay calm.
Multi kill.
Oh, right. I guess his head kind of goes forward when he lands.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Round four. Dive kick.
Hey. Switch. Shane.
I was playing it a bit too safe there.
maybe.
Fraud detection warning.
Round five. Dive kick.
Switch up.
A little too low.
Fraud detected.
Yeah, if you waited there, I was pretty much thinking you're gonna go for the sword right away this one, so I just kind of yellow protected it, but you probably could have caught me there. Figure I can take a bigger risk since I've got 4 wins up.
Mm-hmm.
Round one. Dive kick. Headshot.
Yeah, there we go. That was bad.
Wave.
That's the angle I was trying to get last round.
Round
Yeah.
two. Dive kick.
All right. Here we go.
Good.
Catch,
I don't
catch,
think
catch.
you're not gonna pick it
Aw.
up. Yeah, I'm a little too far there. Good try though. Good try though.
Three. Dive kick.
Here we go.
I think you got it.
All right.
Ooh,
Aw, I keep on figuring there's a
little too
little bit of wind up there.
Yeah.
Round four. Dive kick.
That was good though. You got to the sword just on time.
All right now. Dude. Here we go.
All right, that's fine.
Pivot.
Get the sword on
It's
my side.
defendable.
Yeah, that's the
Round
plan
five.
basically.
Dive kick.
All right now.
Oh, during the roll, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, during the
Yep.
roll.
Catching that roll.
Round six. Dive
Adverse
kick.
possession. All right. Rechange.
Oh,
Switch.
I was going for the headshot. Do I attack? Do I not? Oh,
Round
Kickfactor so
seven.
makes me want to attack.
So stressful.
I thought I did a neutral. Terribly.
Round eight. Dive kick.
Oh,
Here.
and I shouldn't have jumped. You get those impulses right as soon as you press this key.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, Kickfactor Sensei versus anybody headshot is already a bad situation. All right.
Yep, fencer lower tier, sword upper tier.
Yes, sword is pretty damn good. Just it's getting it back that's the problem.
Yep.
I think that's about it. Want to do one more? I kind of want to do one more, but do any of you want to play a Sensei? 'Cause I want to play Markman against
I'll
Sensei.
give it a shot.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
sure what you want to play in turn.
I wanted to play Markman against Sensei, so this is kind of a funny matchup because I don't think Sensei cares about upkick, but he does care about items.
I mean, I can play Markman as well.
I wanted to play the Markman side, that's why.
All right. You want to play the goofier side?
So one thing about this matchup is
Someone give me a ride.
Ready for an 8-button layout?
upkick is kind of where you when you're defending against upkick, you want to just aim at his feet, and then if I do an upkick, I'll kind of like get out of my attack range of actually hitting you. So as long as you just aim at my feet coming in, upkick's not going to scare you. So
Go a mile above your head.
because you're gonna win the foot-to-foot interactions as Sensei, so it's like just dive punch his foot as it comes in, and you're in a position where if he does like a shift, he's probably gonna miss you or maybe catch your back feet, which you could theoretically switch out of as well. So up kick isn't as good against Sensei, but trying to navigate around the items and sometimes losing your meter is bad. So that's what makes this matchup kind of funny. Where normally I would make it Sensei favored, but the items just make it funny to navigate.
One. Dive kick.
Markman has a kickback that can retreat really quickly out of Sensei's range, so he can like respond a little bit later to things.
All right. Discount.
Not chained, I'll take it.
Round
Because that's...
three. Dive kick.
Oh, oil. Probably not good for
Yep.
you. I don't want oil. That's the worst one.
Round four. Dive kick.
This is okay.
Switch. Bankruptcy.
Good timing.
It's like one way to get above Sensei is just go underneath and come out on top. Oh man, I did not expect the YOLO.
Round six. Dive
All right,
kick.
calm.
Headshot.
Bum deal.
Round seven. Dive kick.
Ooh. Don't have the height.
Yeah, if you did a kickback there, you're dead too. So I think maybe a delayed jump would have been the best.
I
But
think if I were in the other stance, I would
Yeah.
have been able to get out of there.
the kickback is better on handstance. That's why I said when you're concussed, you might want to get into handstance and just wait.
Yeah.
Yes. From above.
Oh, sorry, foot stance and just wait. That way you can
Round
retreat.
one. Dive kick.
Nah. Chill, man. Stay calm. Hey.
Ooh, nice.
I'm like, he's gonna aim for the spring.
Round two. Dive kick.
High as a kite, man. Chill, man.
Ooh.
Ooh, I had you. And Sensei does jump higher than Mark.
yes, he does. That's why I didn't grab die jump because it's not gonna matter here.
Switch up. Here. Oh, man.
I was gonna sail over you there. I just had to switch to stay on top when you pop up.
Round four. Dive kick.
Here we go.
Can't move.
Oh, nice. Normally those will go your way, so definitely keep aiming for
Round
those.
five. Dive kick.
Oh, the Oil, not the oil. I don't want the oil. You're about to get kickback, dude. This is scary.
6
Water's right. Switch. Yes.
I just happened to get the up kick right at the right moment. Sorry.
down 7
Oh. I didn't even hit the buttons for up kick.
round 8
Doesn't matter since,
Rechange.
Nice, nice.
and that's just what Sensei wants.
Did I win the first one, or was that the first one?
I think that is. Axem.
I know, I can't remember.
I think that was the first one.
That was the
wasn't
first one, right? Okay, cool, cool.
yes
Markman against just tend to be longer because of the he's more of a like a keep away control. Oh no!
I'm like, I know you're gonna hit me. I know you know the timing for the black hole, so I'm just gonna hit this. Oh,
Ooh, glue, awesome.
oh no.
round 3
Is that Nickel? Switch.
Nope, no meter.
round 4
All right. Here we go. Switch. Is that Nickel? Bad mode.
Ooh, I think I would just stayed in the punch.
The punch.
Yeah.
Ooh, that my hitbox is better now.
Yeah.
6
Oh,
And that is just
Yeah.
me hitting the back box.
yeah, yeah.
round 7
Rechange.
Oh, yeah, kicked a little too early there.
Is that Nickel? Here we go. Change. Is that Nickel?
Oh, sorry. I just didn't want to gas on my side, so I like ducked her right away, but still here. Alright, that works.
Switch up. All right now. Here we go. All right. Change.
Ooh,
Bankruptcy.
too slow on the switch.
Good job.
Also, I probably should have just super jumped there instead.
Yeah, I mean, you can also try to play defensive if you want to, but just make sure to come in when I start throwing out items.
yes from above
That one I was kind of ready, and I just kicked back out of the slow kick.
1 kick
Oh, not low enough.
round 2
Take on. Bad soldering.
Almost, almost.
It's freaking firing on you hard.
Oh, nice, nice. All right, can build me some meter now.
round 4
So high right now. Switch. Bad mode.
Finally punished one of those. I've been missing them every single time.
round 5
Here we go. All right now. Dude, relax.
Yep.
round 6
Is that Nickel?
Ah, missed.
round 7
Oh,
Getting lucky.
round 8
Oh,
Markman wins
I can afford to yellow there just because I have the faint backup.
yeah.
And I figure if you make a just a regular meter build move, I would get it.
Well, it's not like I had meter, so it's not like what else was I gonna do?
Yeah, yeah.
round
That's a plan though.
1
Oh, I was a bit too far to punish you landing on spring.
Spring is kind of helpful for me because I'm really bad at handling Sensei stances, so when I know I can just spam kicks and not care, it's so much easier for me.
Oh, nice rush down on my item build there.
Yeah.
round 3
Zoning spring going away.
Yay, I got the spring win.
round 4
Rechange. Is that Nickel? Oh, that got me good.
Barely missed your feet.
Yeah, yeah.
round 5
Oh man.
Got the high feet there.
Yep.
Round 6.
Oh, that was bad. A backdash on the floor would have saved me.
Yeah.
Round
Give me enough time to do a back, another kickback.
double kill.
Nice. Nice patience, trying to get the approach there.
Round
Now I have to survive.
8. Multi kill.
I think if I just stood still, I would have been okay.
Wins.
Yeah.
I was trying to go underneath, and that killed me. Ready to tie it up?
It's so weird. Just like gas is like so debilitating.
Yeah.
But like, everything else, I'm like, okay, I can handle this.
That's kind of what I wanted to show this matchup, because the items like make it really weird. I like how you go ham at the spring. I'm gonna start punishing you for it now.
Oh, but now I'm just gonna be like super conservative on this ring.
Come on! Oh!
Here we go.
Oh, too slow.
I think you would have had me if you didn't switch there at the end.
3.
Here we go. Switch. Bad
I think you were damned if you did, damned if you don't, because you might have landed the glue after.
4. Headshot.
I tried to spam out the kickback.
Round 5.
Oh, going for that headshot. Waited too long.
Too fancy for your own good.
Yeah, yeah.
Kickfactor speed.
Oh!
Ah, but I couldn't get the punish. I need to learn how to do the switches during the jump.
A bit ham.
Yep, too ham.
You have to go for it though sometimes. GG's though. It's a close match.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oddly enough, kickbox only occurred once, and it was immediately taken away.
I got one use out of it.
Yeah, you got one use.
Yeah.
Because you just built it in the middle of my jump.
Alright. You guys have any like closing questions for Sensei here?
Give you my 2 cents, but I kind of need it, man.
How do I read this?
Yeah, if there's no closing questions, then I think we could probably end the stream there.
I guess I have one.
Yeah.
As Sensei, what do you do when you go over someone by accident?
Okay, so that's, I mean, by accident is when you're missing an attack. So
Yeah.
imagine you are, there's 2 situations where you're kicking already, or they're slipping under you. So let's imagine you're kicking already. Depending on their tendency to chase down, you're gonna have to decide if you're gonna go an early switch or a late switch. And if you do an early switch, you could change it to a late switch, but you'll want to do another switch after that. And I know that's kind of weird, but let me show the screen real quick. Show Scribble. All right.
404 error has occurred.
So let's say the person's right here and you're coming like pretty highly over here. If they're gonna chase you, as soon as they pass this point, they're gonna just start moving this way. And so to discourage that, you wanna go early here. And hopefully you go early enough that you can catch them as they're moving towards you. But as soon as they start, if they're basically fully committing, you're gonna kick them. But more than likely than not, they'll do one kick and they'll wait for you. And that's when you do kind of like that switch, and that will cause them to hesitate, and then you just switch back to the other one. And then at some point you want to switch to get to the ground faster, because the longer you're in this mode, the more time you're going to give them to catch up to you.
Also to reduce your hitbox size, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it's very long. So I know that sounds kind of weird, and it does eat up a decent amount of meter, but sometimes you just want to make sure to save the round. But don't forget that you do have the option that if you haven't kicked yet, you could have the option of just landing with a short kick. That's a very decent possibility as well. If you're the safest movement right now though is just basically doing a dive punch very far away and then timing the kick down when you're far enough away. That's kind of like the safest option, but that really depends. It depends on the character that you're playing. If they have the chase down ability, then you have to start mixing in the lower kicks.
Like against Kung or Kick.
So Kung, it's kind of tough because most of the time when I'm playing against Kung, if I'm going over her, I'm still fairly low. So even the early drop down will get me to the ground pretty fast. Just because you don't jump as high against her versus other characters where you're actually like covering their jump option. Kung's jump option is very low, so I think that when you go over her easily, you have the option of landing early. But I think I normally, if I haven't already switched, like I haven't switched for a kick, I'll just let it go long and accept that I'm dead. Because if I switch too early and I land too early, then I get hit in the head. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really depends on the situation, but there are times where I'll just say, okay, Kung's got me. She can chase me down. I'm just going to have the long body so I can get hit in the head. And then right at the end, I'll switch so I go into handstands. But other than that, I think I'm normally low enough that I can hopefully land again and get out of the way with kickback. But it really is situational based. All right. If that's the last question, Axem, any last questions?
No question. All I'll say is that if Sensei looks interesting to you, then give him a try. He's probably one of the most underrepresented characters in tournaments, so it's always great to see one when one does show up.
Yeah, I'd say the first thing you should learn as Sensei is just what Laitome talked about earlier, and that's doing the switches during the jumps and not the kicks, because that'll allow you to build meter for super jump. And because you'll be doing it more efficiently instead of doing it on top of the kicks. Because if you do it on top of the kicks, you're in like negative meter building mode, and you don't get to play with super jump. And super jump is a very good weapon. And
you also lose a lot of extra height if you wait until your kicks to switch.
Yes, you do. It does bring you down a little bit before you switch. So if you do the switch during the jump, you'll keep some of that height for sure. Thanks for pointing that out. All right. Next week we'll be covering S-Kill. I still don't know when I have a weekend free. Might be the 20th or the 27th for the next tournament. So look out. I'll usually post it in tournament info. If you are watching this and you want to join us for the tournaments or look for matches, go ahead and try to join our Discord. There should be a link from on the Twitch page, and you can also grab it in chat. I'm going to do the command real quick. That's the invite link for our Divekick Infinite Discord. Laitome, Axem, thanks for the games, so we can kind of show off some Sensei here.
Yep, thanks for having us on.
Yep, thanks for having us.
GG's, and everyone, have a good evening. Take care.